Good morning and welcome to Hoodie Friday on Hobby Evolution. When I use this coffee cup, it's a reminder that we need to do the dishes. all my coffee, all my regular coffee cups, Mr. Right. There's a companion coffee cup that is Mrs. Always Right. So normally I don't use this coffee cup. It's a little larger. I probably should, but welcome to a Friday edition. Good morning. Full chat already. I like it. What's up, Brad? He was first in the chat. Jenny, Dan, guess who I'm riding in the car with? I wonder if you're riding in the car with George. Is George in the house? Is George with Dan? Let's see. Zach, what's up, Zach? And it is George. Awesome. Awesome. So, what I want to talk about today is the Slow USPS. And I've been receiving almost on a daily basis items not received. Tis the season. We experience this almost every year. Now, I have been some of the ones that were claimed not received. Actually, somebody on Twitter reached out, said, "Hey, I did not, I haven't received this," and it was shipped out like the first week in November. They reached out, sent me a message yesterday. Hey, it finally showed up. So it's a delay, but I wanted to crunch the numbers and I actually wrote them down this morning. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. That's the main topic. What's up, Justin? Good to see you in the chat. I'm going to talk about when I crunched the numbers, what I learned, and I'm not going to switch up how I run my envelope shipping based on the dollars that when I ran the numbers, just kind of okay. Here's the max. So I'll share that. Uncle Rich is with us. Good morning, Uncle Rich. So there was some news in the hobby yesterday. Card Ladder was purchased by Collectors Universe. I'm really not going to deep dive into that because it's just not something that I'm. I think I have Card Ladder on my phone. I think I have the app, but I don't know too much about it. Not surprised one bit. I think we're going to see a lot more of these acquisitions within the hobby, Collectors Universe, Fanatics. I think there's going to be a lot more acquisitions here in the next couple of years. So Collectors Universe did purchase Card Ladder. I'm sure there's more. By the way, there's an app called Clubhouse, which is awesome. So I love listening to Brian Gray. He's the CEO of Leaf. I love listening to him talk when he's on Hobby Hotline. It's always a must listen. When he was on Jeremy Lee's YouTube show a couple months ago, it's like appointment TV to listen to Brian Gray. Love it. Brian Gray talks on Clubhouse a lot. So, and I'll get like push notif, and I'm glad I do. It's like one of the few apps I actually receive push notifications. And I'll receive a push notification. Hey, Brian Gray is talking on Clubhouse, and I'll listen. So I listened a little bit yesterday. They were talking about the acquisition. I think it's Chris and Christina who run Card Ladder. Christina was in Clubhouse, so she was talking about some of the stuff as well. So I tuned in a little bit. Again, I'm not too on either of the companies. So I just kind of popped in, popped out. But if you do want some content and if you enjoy listening to Brian Gray, check out the Clubhouse app. It's kind of, and I actually was turned on to it by Jeremy Lee, and it quite a bit. It's basically just like an audio chat room. I don't know if anybody in the chat here is familiar with Clubhouse. I don't think I've ever talked on it. But I just went in, created a profile, 1 million Cubs. So follow me if you join. I don't talk, so you're not going to get any content from me. I just listen, but there's a lot of good stuff. And just follow people within the hobby. Look up Brian Gray, look up some of the other stuff. It's basically like me talking every morning on Hobby Evolution, but people that are interested in the hobby. It's called Clubhouse, and it's basically you just follow people, kind of like Twitter. So check it out. Who else do we have in here? David's with us. What's up, David? Fall Creek Collectibles. A smart person would maybe stop selling for the month of December. Absolutely not. That would be the worst decision to make. Do not stop selling. And I'm going to show you why. just on postage and savings alone. Rich is prepping for smaller Dallas card show tomorrow. That's awesome. Brad says, good morning to everyone. Let's see. Rich says, while what Card Ladder does is not part of my world, they work hard and good for them to cash in. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I have the app on my phone. I check into it every once in a while. It's not really my cup of tea, but I think it's great for them. Last I heard, Clubhouse didn't have an Android app. Okay, that I'm not aware. I have an iPhone, so I do know it's on iPhone. So if you do have an iPhone, you can download it. Ty's interview with Breakout Cards was good. Yes, it was. And who turned? I think Dr. turned me on to uh, Bench Clear Media, which shame on me for not knowing about that channel on YouTube. Bench Clear Media with Mike Moynihan, and Ty. I mean, I listened to it like it's kind of my background. In fact, last night I was listing football cards in my eBay store using File Exchange, and I was listening to one of Mike Moynihan's podcast YouTube videos with Peter Steinberg from SGC. So thanks to Dr. for turning me to Bench Clear Media. And yeah, it was Dr. because he sent me the link to they had a CPA talking about cards and just tips on how to handle that at tax time. So I've been watching a lot of those videos. I did watch the video with Ryan and Ty. I've been watching Ty's videos. He bought a big bulk collection recently, in some of Mike's interviews. Just a great channel. Love it. Zach says that is the thing on Twitter. No, Clubhouse it's similar. It is similar. I think Twitter is called Spaces. Twitter Spaces, and that was just when I updated my phone. I noticed that I now have access to it because I think it was more both both things were both at both well Clubhouse is an app. It was kind of exclusive. You had to be like invited by somebody. Uh, and I think Spaces was the same on Twitter, but now I believe it's open to everybody. So that's what I wanted to discuss. eBay store last night. Yesterday, my goal was 100. That's kind of my floor. 100 items listing per day on my eBay store. So I crushed it yesterday. Did 200. I did I think a baseball. I can't even remember what I uploaded during the day, but then I did a football upload last night. So I think I'm going to do some more football today. The floor is 100 per day, but there's going to be some days where I'm going to crush it and just spend the entire day on File Exchange and get 400 to 500 in. And that way I can, focus on shipping the next day and then pump in, 100 on a shipping day, excuse me. Zach says, I like the variety of items you were adding. Yeah, it's been I've just been taking boxes of what I've been acquiring from card shows, and yesterday was some of the football that I added last night was from the 25-cent boxes that was from my Madison card show last week. That was a trade out for table space, and then the day before the Topps Gold football that I added, that was from the $20 box that I bought at my card show. I've been adding some random cards just kind of when I'm on the couch. Some of those are coming from the bulk purchase I picked up in Beloit, Wisconsin, on my way to Chicago to the Spectacular a couple weeks ago. So it's a little bit of everything. So the variety, I love variety. Zach says if you add an 89 Ryzen Pro set, it's already sold. I'll tell you what, I think you have an order that I'm going to be shipping today. I'll just throw one in there because there was like 5 of them in that box I bought. So I'll just toss one in to your package that I'll be sending out today. Speaking of sending out packages, I've been having issues, and we always do November, December, with deliveries on plain white envelopes. And in fact, so I went to the post office 2 days ago. I had a box that didn't fit in my mailbox, so I had the yellow white slip, which pained me in December because the lines are so long, and the line actually was only about half the length that it usually is during the month of December. But there was only one clerk at the counter, and A lot of times customers, they don't know, like a lot of us who send cards on a daily basis, like sometimes I have to like reel my thoughts back. Like, okay, the average person isn't like completely knowledgeable about how USPS works and all the intricacies and all that stuff. So I get it, and I have to like sometimes, okay, be patient. Um, so it took like 35 minutes just to pick up a box, and it's like I just wanted to wave my yellow slip, like just go get my box. I want to get out of line. So I didn't even so I went in yesterday afternoon. I had like 5 or 6 bubble mailers to just drop off. And the line was all the way back and it curves like back in where the post office boxes are. So there were like 5 or 6 people like standing back there, and it's like I don't even like want to go check my mailbox. It's probably empty anyway. So I didn't even check my mail. Dropped off the bubble mailers. I had a bunch of white envelopes, plain white envelopes, PWEs to to drop off in the blue boxes. Now, outside of my post office, there's 6 blue boxes. So as I pulled up to the blue boxes, I went to put my envelopes in. It was full. So I went to the next one. It was full. All of the blue boxes were filled to the brim. Granted, it was like 4 p.m., so it's the end of the day, and they empty these. An employee comes and I go to the post office a lot, so I know like their schedule. So around 5 p.m., an employee walks across the street and brings back all of the envelopes from the blue boxes, which were full at 4 p.m. So, so that just goes to show you, like normally it's like, they're empty. So just goes to show you the amount of volume that the post office is dealing with. So we're going to take delays and just look around. How many? I bet every store you walk into has a now hiring sign. That's just everywhere. Everybody is hiring. There's a lack of employees, and I think we're seeing that well with my day at the post office on Wednesday with one clerk during Christmas season. Like usually in normal employment times, when people are working, there's 3 clerks during Christmas. Now there's one because there's just a lack of employees out there. So there's a lack of employees, and you're seeing that at the retail desk. Just imagine what the sorting facilities look like. So it's going to take longer. There's a heavy amount of volume. There's a lack of workers. Guess what? It impacts the supply chain. We're seeing prices rise. That's because everything is affected by the supply chain. So you're going to hear that a lot. You're going to hear the word supply chain a lot in the next 12 years. You've probably already heard it a lot. Get ready because it's not ending anytime soon. I took Clubhouse off my phone because the notices were driving me crazy. I get it. They can, but there's good content. And Brad, I know you like listening to Brian. Brian offers some good stuff, and he's on like several days a week. Like he just pops in. Usually I've noticed around like the noon hour is when he's talking. Jenny says, get ready for crazy lines at USPS. They are so short staffed. Absolutely. Which is odd because they pay like 25 per hour and have huge benefits, but no one wants to work. It's crazy. I cannot believe the worker shortage that we're experiencing. I just don't get it. I just received a bubble mailer from State College yesterday. It took 3 weeks to get to Pittsburgh, roughly 125 miles. Yeah, and that's exactly the person on Twitter that reached out to me. It was about 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks, and he's in Ohio, the state of Ohio, Wisconsin to Ohio, not very far, couple states over, not quite State College to Pittsburgh. That's a much shorter run than Wisconsin to Ohio, but still, it's not like it was, shipped to the West Coast or the East Coast. And we have Black Friday, Cyber Monday packages that will push all our small baseball cards aside because all the 2-day guarantees. Yeah, that sucks. I love listening to be mostly accurate. So what I was thinking in this exercise, this math exercise I did was kind of brought on because my stamp guy is also seeing a rise in wholesale. It's even affecting old stamps. he's not receiving the wholesale discounts on old stamps. He says they're usually around 50%. Now they're 85%. So we're seeing this craziness in the supply chain, which is driving up prices, affecting simple things that you wouldn't even think of, like old stamps. That's how crazy it is. so, so I reached out. I said, "Hey, because I'm down to there's a box around here somewhere. I'm getting low. Hey, can I order another box?" So he shared. There's a shortage. Like the prices are crazy. I'm waiting for the prices to go down. I'll keep you posted. So now it's like, well, crap, I'm going to have to go to this. Once I run out of these, I'm going to have to do standard envelope, which, by the way, standard envelope is cheaper than buying. I don't have any forever stamps next to me, but I think what are forever stamps now? 60 cents, I believe. Now, if you do a 1 ounce standard envelope, it's only 53 cents. And then if you do thicker, 73 cents for 2 ounces, 93 cents for 3 ounces. So it's like, well, and at least that way I have the backing of the insurance claim, because if you file a claim, say somebody doesn't get their package, but it was shipped standard envelope with tracking, you can submit that claim after 30 days and you'll get your money back. I've done it 2 or 3 times. Boom, simple process. Got my money back a day after claim. So you do have that option, which the standard envelope, I won't dive too deep into the weeds on it, but it's basically seller protection. It's not tracking for like a buyer to track their package, because it's not completely accurate. It's for sellers, because now they have they can pass on tracking. It in some ways makes the buyer feel a little better, but it's mostly just to protect the seller, where they can get their money back if it's not received. They can use that tracking, submit it to the insurance form, say, here's the tracking, here's the scan, I dropped it off and it was in transit, boom, it was lost, my buyer never got it. Okay, we insure it up to $20. This was a $4 package. Here's your $4 in your PayPal the next day. Zach says it's not just people who don't want to work, though. Bo is an example of people making life changes. Yeah, and that's as I said that, it's like, well, look at me. I'm not in the real world workforce anymore. I took that plunge, and a lot of people are taking those leaps and making their former hobbies into full-time jobs. So that's a great point. What's up, Herman? Good morning. There's DR. Good morning. All. I love how some of the best topics in the hobby are about envelopes and a post office. Only sports cards can make the post office and envelopes cool, right? We're talking about the post office today. So I wanted to run those numbers, and I thought about, it's a great time because now I may be looking at having used standard envelope on all of my shipments. So how is that going to affect my business? And just kind of long story short, a lot of my 99-cent listings will no longer either be 9-cent listings traditionally. Either A, won't be listed anymore, or B, they'll all be $1.50. Just so because right now, if it's a single 99-cent sale, using my bulk discount on these stamps, I'm only clearing like 10 cents. The point, that's not my goal. My goal isn't to make 10 cents per sale. My goal is to have my store large enough and offer bulk discounts to where people buy 20, 30, 50, 100 cards. And so that average price is no longer 10 cents, it's 80 cents, and I'm doing it in bulk times 100. So that's the goal. Because that's when, well, is it worth it? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but overall, yes. So I wanted to run the numbers, and okay, what's going to happen, and what are the averages? And I know from the last couple of years, December can be terrible, and over the next 30 days, 40 days, I'm going to be seeing on regularity, non-received, especially on these. But if it's $1, $2, $3, I'm going to save the 15 cents and send them in these envelopes, especially when it's, say it's a 99-cent card, say it's a $1.50 card. I don't want to eat that 15 cents is a huge portion of the net profit. So just full disclosure, I buy these pre-stamped. They come in flat rate boxes. I get like 700 per box. My cost shipped to me 38 cents per stamped envelope. So I'm at 38 cents per stamped envelope. Now the standard envelope shipping, say it's just a 1 ounce on eBay, 53 cents. Okay, but that's without the envelope. You have to buy envelopes. You can get them in bulk about 2 cents, 2.5 cents per envelope if you're going to Costco, which comes out to be, I think, 1,000 for 25 bucks. So you can get 1,000 envelopes for 25 bucks. So before we get into the math equation, let's see what Jenny says. Here's my eBay day card listed for 6.695 2 hours ago. Offer of $2, counter with $3. I'm feeling nice. Counter offer of $2, decline. No time for this. Yeah, sometimes it's just I've opened up most of my everything on File Exchange that I upload is now offers accepted. And sometimes it's like, man, I should just turn these off. I have somebody that sends like $1 offer on everything, and like whether it's $1.50 or $5. So it's like sometimes I'll decline, and sometimes and they've done business. Like they've come back and they've bought some stuff. So it's not like an auto decline. I'll counter. But then when there's the negotiation over like dimes, it's like I'm out. Let's just decline. So back to the math. So my pre-stamped envelopes. So for this exercise, that's a great question, Jenny. I'll get to that. Jenny, I may make that a topic for tomorrow because I had somebody buy one last night that I recommended on private messaging on Twitter last night. So I'll use that tomorrow as a topic. So for this exercise, I'm just going to use, I'm doing more business than 1,000 packages per month, but I'm just going to use 1,000 as a nice round number. And I'm going to use 10 missing envelopes per month, 10 out of 1,000, which it may be a little more than that here in the month of December. But currently it's running probably 5 per 1,000, I would say. So I'm just going to use 10. We're going to keep it easy on the math. So we're going to use for this math exercise 1,000 packages per month you're sending out, and 10 come back item not received. So first, 1,000 pre-stamped envelopes that I buy at a discount is going to cost me $380. Now, if I use the standard envelope, I'm paying 53 cents per through eBay, but I also have to buy the envelopes, and I can get 1,000 at Costco for 25 bucks. So $530 plus $25 for the envelopes is a cost of $555 as opposed to my pre-stamped envelopes of $380. Now, with the standard envelopes, I have the insurance to back me up. So if 10 go missing and I have the tracking, I get that money back. So maybe I can cut into, any losses because on the $380 pre-stamped envelopes, I don't have any tracking. So I'm out that money. So if somebody says, hey, I haven't got this, I have to refund them, and boom, that money's gone. It's a loss. So let's see. Now I'm not following I have to do the math because I think I was doing this in a hurry and I used the wrong word. So I just want to make sure my math is accurate here. So 555 minus 380. Okay, so 100. There's a difference of $175. So I'm paying per 1,000 envelopes an additional $175 over my pre-stamped discounted stamped envelopes. Now, for this exercise, on average, 10 go missing. 10 of my packages go missing. Let's just say most of these are $1.50 to $3, but typically $5 is my max on what I will send, especially now in these non-tracked envelopes and just the stamped envelopes. Anything above $5, I'm typically going to use the standard envelope. So let's just say it's a worst case scenario on these 10 missing packages. They were all $5 packages. That's only $50. But I'm spending an additional, now I get that $50 back on the tracking, but I'm spending an additional $175 to only save 50. So the break-even point using these numbers, using the $5 per package, which is actually going to be lower than that, is 35 envelopes that go missing, which is worst case scenario. This month it could happen. I'm not going to jinx it and say, oh, I'll never lose 35 packages out of 1,000. It very well could happen. It hasn't to this point. Historically, 10 to 15 per thousand is the max. Before COVID, it was much lower. I think the max would have been 5 per thousand. So the break even point on that $175 is 35 envelopes, which means it's even though I may have to cost on 50, $100, it's worth it to save that money on the bulk envelope if I can get them. And now there's a shortage on my bulk discounted stamps, so I may have to eat that additional cost anyway and use standard envelopes just because these may not be available to me once my current box runs out. But I wanted to run the numbers because every time I receive an open case for item not received, it's like I should just throw my hands in the air and I'm going to track every package. But you have to think when you're running a business, every dollar matters, and 175, $125 per thousand, which is actually, that's actually going to be more than $125 per month because I'm sending out more than 1,000 per month. So, say 150, $200 a month. That's big money when you're starting a new business from scratch and you're 6 weeks in. So that was my math exercise for the morning. Never would I have thought 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I'm sitting in algebra, first hour algebra with Coach Earl, who I reconnected with recently on Facebook, which is awesome because his kids, who are around my age, actually live here in Madison. And here's the funny part. So I haven't talked to Coach Earl in 25 years. He was my freshman algebra teacher, and then I think he moved on to a different school district my sophomore year maybe. But he ran basketball camps when I was a kid playing basketball. So been 25 years since I've crossed paths with Coach Earl, and I think I was on the Nextdoor app like during COVID a year and a half ago, and there was a person by his name saying I'm relocating to Madison. So I looked him up on Facebook and did the whole Facebook creep, and I saw that his kids live in Madison. And so I reached out and I said, hey, are you looking for a house in Madison? He goes, no, but funny. And, we did the whole, oh, it's great. How are things? How's life and all that? And then he says, no, but funny you ask because 2 of my kids live in Madison, and I'm eventually going to retire to Madison. So I will be looking to a house. That's where by the way, my wife's a realtor in Madison. So just a funny aside. I don't know math. He was my algebra teacher. First hour algebra, Coach Earl. Song of the day. He's kind of a hippie. He was a big Dead fan. So Grateful Dead, a lot of classic rock first thing in the morning. Awesome stuff. So Jenny, back to the chat. Jenny says, anyone have suggestions on a label printer? And I mentioned that before. I'll use that tomorrow. I'll go back. I've talked about that in previous Hobby Evolution episodes on label printers. I don't know if I've actually highlighted that as a specific topic. It's just kind of been in the weeds, and that's kind of why I like to have topics now, just so it's easier to find. Like, oh yeah, that was episode 430. We talked about the Slow USPS, and I gave a math lesson. So I'll touch on that tomorrow because I did just go through the exercise with somebody on Twitter through DM last night, asking, hey, is it worth doing standard envelope? And in my thought process, absolutely. Even though I just said, here's why I'm not doing standard envelope, I think as a whole, yes. So we can talk about that tomorrow morning. And the funny thing, Jenny mentions Christmas from my parents. So I have 2 label printers. One I really don't even use anymore. The one I got for Christmas, I don't really use because The smaller one, I have the Brother QL 800, which does only 2x7, which is perfect for. I don't have one next to me, but perfect for just like a simple address. But if it's for a bubble mailer or the standard envelope, it's best to use the 4x6, which you'll need the Brother QL 1100. Learned that the hard way when I received a stack of bubble mailers in my mailbox because the barcodes were too small. So I'll talk more on that tomorrow. Herman says, I think Jenny caught the YouTube bug. Y'all check out her Santa card video after Bo is done. Oh, Jenny, are you on you? I will have to check that out. She so did love it. I'm pulling trades this morning, then eBay sales. Brad is live, so check him out later this morning on the Texas Card Dude channel. DR says, how do you weigh the benefits of being a top-rated seller on eBay, which I think has a connection to a percentage of tracking packages uploaded? It absolutely does. And the money I'm saving, I mean, just on 1,000 packages, I'm saving, $175 per thousand. And I'm selling cards that, a lot of these cards I wouldn't sell through the tracking process. So it's basically you're just crunching the numbers. If you want to do more volume, for me, it's only like a 1% discount. Being a top rated seller is a 1% discount. You have to ship within 1 day, which is fine if you're doing a limited amount or you have employees to ship for you. I'm doing, on average 50 to 100 at this point per day. And it's hard to get all of those shipped out per day while also I could focus on that, but then I would be losing time on listing items. So, and it's not worth that 1%. I'd rather continue to get that volume up and make more sales than save 1% on fees. Vark Tech, I don't know what that means. I'll send you the link in Twitter. Awesome. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Any questions, let me know on the standard envelope tracking. And I can answer those. So tomorrow I'll talk about, I'll give suggestions on the label printers. And if anybody I use the Brother QL series. If anybody, I know Rollo is a popular brand, but I'll give my thoughts on series. I don't know my channel. I'll send you the link on Twitter. Okay. So thanks for tuning in. Today is Friday. It's retail day. I actually may make some runs. It's hoodie Friday. I was getting like really cabin fever yesterday. I was like itching to get out. I don't know if that I played trivia on Tuesday night. I don't know if that like I can go like the whole week without like any human interaction other than my wife and my dog. But then all of a sudden I go out one night, play bar trivia. It's like now I'm getting cabin fever. So I was going to make a Walmart run yesterday after the post office. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going to go back and list more stuff on eBay. But I think I may run out. I was getting the itch to open some wax. And I think that was because I received my Black Friday orders. But that I'm not going to open. I'm just going to sit on. But I'd like to open some archives. So I may treat myself. And pick up some archives blasters and just kind of see. Rich says, picked up a package for my wife at Target. So I thought I'd look at the card area yesterday. Decent amount of update in Topps archives at $20 a blaster. That's kind of what I'm seeing. When I made the Walmart run on Sunday night, there were 2 blasters of archives and a wall of update. There's been a wall of update for a few weeks now. And I'm just not, I just haven't bought any update. I need human interaction, got to get my words out. I think that's why I do this YouTube video. And I just, it gives me, and I started this hobby evolution during COVID because I was working from home. And at that time we were like, nothing was open. Like restaurants were closed. I was basically the only human interaction I had outside of my home was the cashier at Target and the grocery store. So it's like I like Jenny, I needed to get my words out. So I'm just going to talk on YouTube. And 430 episodes later, here we are, and we're having fun. So it's me getting my words out just on YouTube. So have a great one. If I do pick anything up, I'll probably do a. I haven't figured out Twitter Live. Um, I used to be when Twitter updated, I got the new Spaces thing. When I did the iOS update on my iPhone, but then it took away my live video option. So because I don't like doing breaks on YouTube because I either have to move all of my laptop and my camera out to the other room, um, because I have like a breaking table that I like. It's like perfect. Um, well, it's just so it's easy to just set up my phone, and I like to do it live. I mean, I could record the video like I did the $20 bargain box last week, but I like doing it live. I'm just gonna go on Twitter just to see. I'm gonna open the camera. Yeah, it just said camera roll, capture, and video. So capture is just a picture. Camera roll is my camera roll, and video is just recording a video and uploading it later. So I don't know. Anyway, have a great Friday. Brad is going live next on his channel, Texas Card Dude. Have a great Friday. Tomorrow morning I'll be on. It won't be 7 a.m., probably around 8 a.m. My weekend schedule varies just depending how late I sleep in. Sometimes I wake up really early on Saturdays. Sometimes I sleep in a little bit. So probably between 8 and 9, I'll go live tomorrow morning. We'll talk about label printers, which I love now, and I'll talk more on that tomorrow. So have a good one, and see you tomorrow.